the pencil. And you know,
Bernie,
all my muscle atrophy.
Bernie, we're on, okay?
Hospital beds are no place to sit. No.
Speaker.
Okay, guys, we're ready to get going. You guys okay?
Yep.
All right, terrific. We will call this reorganization meeting to order. Happy New Year, everyone. And let's get started. So we need to appoint a temporary chairperson. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Let's all rise. Good pledge. So tired. The pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God. Sorry about that. Okay. So our first order of business is to appoint temporary chairperson until a permanent appointment. So I'm going to appoint you, Charlene. All in favor?
Hi,
Aye. Okay,
can you hear me well enough?
I can.
Great.
Bernie did. And appoint temporary secretary, which we only have one option for that. So can we just appoint you as secretary? It seems
Right.
so.
What I would do is select your chairman
Okay,
and then the new chairman can run the meeting and appoint the secretary.
okay.
Okay, so I make a motion that we appoint Dana Allen as chairperson. 2025.
I'll second the motion.
Supervisors?
Okay, sounds like Bernie seconded that.
Yes.
All in favor?
Hi.
That was you. Okay, thank you very much. And then we have, let's appoint Christina Casey as secretary.
Second.
I make a motion to appoint Christina Casey as secretary.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And we also need to elect a vice chairperson, and I'd like to nominate Bernie for that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Great. Okay, so that was the hard part. Now, we do have quite a few appointments to make here for 2025, and I'm going to try and go through these quickly. Interim Township Manager, Jim Wendelgas. I'll switch off to you. Okay, so we can appoint them all together, right? We're just going to read through them.
The motion's written to read.
Okay, we're going to read through them all real quick for you. Municipal Secretary Christina Casey, Township Treasurer Jim Wendelgas, Township Solicitor Dave Otterano of Haddock, Otterano and Fetterman LLP, Zoning Officer Tracy Franny of Cedarville Engineering, Building Code Officer Matt Spellman of Arrow Engineering.
Sure. Building Inspector Matt Spellman of our Engineering Consultant for Planning, Ed Thurcroft, Thurcroft Design and Planning LLC, Code Office Assistant Jason Barron, Police Secretary Ruth McVeigh, Payroll Clerk Evolution Incorporated, Tax Collectors Berkheimer Associates and Keystone Collections Group, Engineer Norm Ulrich of LTL Consultants Ltd and Bellman Engineering, Traffic Engineer Al Federico, Public Works Manager Roadmaster Mike Hoga, Animal Control Glenn Deary, Police Chief Michael Swiniger, Emergency Management Director James Whitting, Emergency Management Board Liaison Dana Allen, Depositories Victory Bank and Citadel Credit Union, Voting Delegate to State Convention Dana Allen, CPA and External Auditor Chris Herr, Malley, Accountants and Advisors, Vacancy Board Chair Deidre Heitzman, Open Records Officer Christina Casey.
Go to pick up there.
Yeah.
Okay, Phoenixville Regional Planning Committee members, the Planning Commission members to be determined at their reorg meeting. And the 2025 board member would be myself, Dana Allen. Agricultural Security Board, which has one-year terms set to expire in 12/31/25. We're appointing Tom Olzanowski, Barb Mueller, Sue Miller, and the board liaison will stay Bernie Corus for that. So I think that was everything for the Board of Appeals. What's that? Yeah, well, it's a separate motion though.
Make a motion that we appoint the different positions as read.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Do we have any comments at all? Anyone have any questions on this? We still do have to go through the committee appointments as well. And I think it was suggested that we just accept this as written, but I do think we should just at least mention the resignations and the appointments. If there's any questions, please bring them up. So for the Planning Commission, we are accepting the resignation of Steve Muroff. And we are appointing Jeff Butler. And there will be one open position on that committee.
Excuse me, that's Jeff Miller. Oh, no, I'm sorry, never mind.
On the Eden City
Yeah.
Council, we are accepting the resignation of Charlene Briggs. And reappointing Karis Egan and Rachel McKay. A new appointment of Sean Clark for the remainder of the term of 12/31/26. Open space, we're reappointing Jim Wendelgas, ending 12/31/29. And we have a new member, Dawn Fryer, who is going to cover the remainder of the term ending 12/31/25. For Parks and Rec, we have a new member, Lindsay Flanagan, and her term will end 12/31/29, and we have an open position on that committee. And zoning hearing, Larry Stone, we accepted his resignation and reappointed Ann Dyer to the remainder of his term. She didn't want a full term, so we did that for her. So her term's ending 12/31/25. We have moved Dave Weber to an existing position that would be ending 12/31/29. He was an alternate, and that remains to give us one open alternate space on that committee. Did you want to pick up on that?
Sure. Okay, Sustainability Committee, we are accepting the resignation of Margot Green and Rhonda Ellis. We have an appointment of Andrea Fonash ending 12/31/27, and there is still an open position on Sustainability. The Historical Commission, we have an open position that's ending 12/31/29. For the leaf lifters, we're accepting the resignation of Rosalia Provini. And we're appointing Andrea McBride, Dale Eagle, if I'm saying that correct, and Victoria Laubach, terms ending 12/31/27. Traffic Safety, Christine McGowan and Frank Costanzo, we're accepting their resignations. And we're reappointing Jane Nina and Whitney Jager, remainder of terms ending 12/31/25. And we're appointing Marty Blumenthal and Eliza Davis with their term ending 12/31/27. Trail Implementation Committee workshop will be held on January 27th, 2025. Everyone's welcome to attend to learn more about this committee. The 5 committee members will be chosen after this first meeting, so please attend if you have an interest. All future meetings will be the 4th Monday of each month.
And we're going to make sure there were quite a few people who were interested in that committee when it was first formed last year. So we're going to make sure everybody knows about this. And it's truly open to anyone who wants to come. Ed Thurcroft is going to lead the first meeting and set the tone for, what this is going to be and help us select a committee for that. Now, I want to mention that there is, some of you might have noticed that the Human Relations is not on this. And we have decided at this time not to reappoint any new members until we have some further discussion about just basically the agenda of that committee and whether it's doing what it's supposed to, and if what the future is going to hold for that committee. So it seems to want to change a little bit from what it is currently, and what they're doing is not following the ordinance. So we'll have some discussion on that for sure. Like to make a motion to approve all
I'd
that?
like to make a motion that we adopt the 2025 committee and board appointments as stated.
Okay,
Second motion.
we have any questions from the audience? Nope. Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. And then we also have a motion for the meeting schedule, which I don't even have them.
Yeah, it's 5 on 6.
And that we're just gonna let that go as posted.
Do you need a motion?
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the 2025 meeting schedule as posted.
Second.
Anyone have any questions or comments on the schedule? We tried very hard to make sure we didn't put it on any bad days, so we seem to keep running into certain holidays. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion approved. And can I have a motion to approve the resolution number 16, 2024 for local state share grant.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 16, 2024 for the local state share grant.
I'll second the motion.
Any questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. And we need a motion to approve resolution number 1, 2025, establish emergency service providers for West Vincent Township.
I'll make,
Dana, are we stating who they are?
Let's see. Is asking to state who they are.
oh,
It's gonna be let to expire and then
oh,
what
that's
about an ambulance?
Euclid
squad?
ambulance. Right,
There's a few.
Euclid, Weston, Lubbock's Corner.
Yeah, it's right here.
And Kimberton.
And we might want to make mention too about Euclid. Those who were here at our last meeting know that they kind of put us under notice that they wanted to withdraw service from our township. And there is a response that is in the works to them. So we're trying to work with them on changing that. For now, though, they are still servicing us for a matter of 90 days. Do we have a second on that?
second.
Second,
Okay. Do we have any questions? Anyone?
none.
Nope. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Motion to approve resolution number 2, 2025, appoint the interim township manager and establish compensation and the manager's bond. Of course, that is Jim Wendelgas.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution number 2025 to 2025 to appoint the interim township manager and establish a manager's compensation and manager's bond.
I'll second the motion.
Are there any questions?
It changed from last year? No. Has it changed? No.
No.
Compensation hasn't changed.
Oh, the
person
compensation,
hasn't
no.
changed. And the bond hasn't changed, so no.
So weird. Yeah. No, everything is the same. And, also we are still working with, Keystone with, I think we're going to be interviewing at the end of this month, some new folks who might hopefully take that position away from Jim. I'm sure he'd be very thrilled, but we'll see.
January
It's
20th.
to come. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And we also need a motion to appoint Chris Herr from Mally. That one?
Skipped one.
I did.
Yeah, number 10 is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the mileage reimbursement. Yes. Would you mind looking
Yeah,
at
no, so I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 3, 2025, establish mileage reimbursement at 70 cents per mile following the federal guidelines for 2025.
Second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we don't have a choice with that. We're basically following the guidelines. Now we can make a motion to appoint Chris Herr at Mally.
That motion to appoint Chris Herr, Mally Accountants as an advisor.
Okay. Second. All right. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Motion to approve resolution 5/2025, approval 2025 West Vincent fee schedule.
I'll make a motion.
I make a motion that we approve resolution 5/2025 for the 2025 West Vincent fee schedule.
I'll second.
Does anyone have any questions on that? There's quite a lot of changes there, and I don't think it was redlined, but maybe we could go through some of the changes. Is that hard to do, or
No, we can go through some
Yeah.
of the changes. I mean,
do you want us to do that, or would you like us to take the question?
Yeah, but I'm going to ask a question with just because I'm a little confused, but we could go through it also because this doesn't make any sense. So Julia Brandel, Blowing Springs Road. Temporary tent. Says per tent over 400 square feet, not including tent ropes and stakes. Review $200, each inspection $200. So if we have 6 tents, that's $1,400.
Shouldn't be. We'll change that.
Right, but I thought we were like 1 through 4 tents is this much,
Previously,
5
it
plus
was not
tents.
That version. Yeah, I think that just got pulled from the wrong place because that was already updated.
Okay,
So that's one thing that's wrong with it.
okay. Well, I'll keep looking then.
Thank you.
All right,
one that stood out.
that's a good one.
Thank you.
But the definition of that should change. It's still following the fire guidelines, but it should change how often it's required to get a 400-foot
Right.
tent inspected.
Not including tent ropes and stakes. So.
Right.
yeah, So we're keeping it to the size of the actual tent then.
we're trying.
Correct, and that's getting around the problem that we encountered last year.
Okay.
Did you want to give us some more feedback on that, Jim?
In terms of that, or?
No, in terms of the things that have changed throughout the
terms
fee
of-
schedule, and the fee schedule's sort of a living document, so.
Yeah, it is a living document. It can be changed at any time by the board. One of the new things is it's now in driveways. It's specific for new or change in area only as opposed to resurfacing. There was an interpretation that resurfacing required a permit. That's, we tried to make it specific so that that's not the case anymore. Certificate of occupancy. This is, it's been removed for sales.
Resale.
Resales. Fireworks require a temporary permit now. Which I think is a good idea. Let's see, let me go through. Ham radio, inspection, there's now a permit for that. Now, there will be a certificate of occupancy required for commercial sales, but not for residential sales. Pardon?
Yeah.
Yes, we did add alarm systems and fire suppression. Stormwater is the same, subdivision is the same. We did add, since there are other appeals to the Board of Supervisors, that is now listed as a separate appeal. There are appeals that are different than conditional uses and such. The LTL fees were updated pursuant to the recent received from LTL. As were the aero fees and the planning consultant fees. We did not receive any changes from the traffic engineer. And the last thing that I'm recall is actually in park reservations, gazebo reservations, no commercial use is allowed. There's no fee, but there's no commercial uses allowed. And in community gardens,
I don't think it changed.
additional fees may be assessed at up to $50 per plot per year, used solely for the garden. They're not
That says
actually-
only if something came up that
Right,
suddenly needed to do something major there.
right, but it is not assessing any additional fee.
Right, at this time, they still have money. Go ahead, George?
Couple questions. One, a fireworks permit, what's the fee and is it any date or I think it used to be like 4th of July and New Year's were excluded or something. So any fireworks of any kind in West Vincent requires a permit.
Set off fireworks, it requires a permit.
And what's the fee?
I thought it was 300, I think.
$300?
Yep.
You basically are banning fireworks in West Vincent.
Nope.
Okay. Oh, the other one is, I just want to remind you for tent permits, that we need like a separate form or something for people that come in to get a permit, just to streamline it. So it's not buried in the temporary building permit.
I think you were working on that. right,
Mhm.
Jen?
Okay,
Okay, great.
thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? That was a tricky one. Okay, seeing none, can we vote to approve that with the adjustment, which seemed to have fallen out of there for multiple tents? So I think we can pull that from the previous version, correct?
We can do
I
that.
wish I had it that I could state it right now, but if we're allowed to do that, Dave, I will make the motion that we adjust it and approve it with that one correction.
Yes, you can.
Okay,
A second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Fee schedule approved. Okay, and then of course, we're gonna make a motion to appoint our township treasurer and his treasurer bond, which is for $3 million.
There is a typo on there. It should be,
What is that?
instead of 2 million, it should be 3 million.
Oh, I knew it was 3, but I don't see a typo. That says it's
And
3.
in subpoint 3,
Okay,
it's just not consistent. That's all.
and that's the same bond that
Correct.
we're both manager and treasurer. Thank you.
So I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 6, 2025, to appoint township treasurer and establish treasurer's bond.
So moved.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Back on the hook again. Okay, now here's a little different one here about the fire hydrant tax, and maybe we can get Jim to explain this one a little better for us before we make a motion on it.
There are 4 subdivisions in the township that are served by hydrants. The township pays 2 water companies approximately $23,000 a year in fees to have those hydrants. Virtually all townships that I'm aware of pass that cost along to the people that are serving those hydrants. And that's merely what this does. So it'll establish a $25 fee, which will raise just under $22,000, roughly the cost the township is paying. And it's for those people who live within a certain distance of the hydrants. One thing we'll notice, if you live within a certain distance of the hydrants, that your the insurance, your household insurance is usually at a reduced rate because you live within so many feet of the hydrant.
And in the past, the township was basically picking these costs up. And we're hoping that, you know, we're not just trying to get the residents to pick it up. We want to utilize those funds in another way to, help with our donations to our fire company, ambulance and such. We're going to figure out how that's going to work, but that's right. That's generally the idea, is that we're raising these funds to be used to our first responders.
Ask a question on that?
Sure.
Hi, Julia Brandel. So have you mathed it to figure out how much that should be a year?
Yes.
Will it cover,
It just about. I mean,
just about covers it?
the way we mapped it, there are 4 subdivisions. If we count everyone in the subdivisions, it'll raise just shy of 22,000. The current cost is 23,000.
Is it
Okay.
750 feet from a hydrant?
Yes.
I mean, does this include what is Weatherstone one of them and the
Weatherstone.
apartments are also one of them?
No, not the apartments, because there's relatively, I mean, that's.
So it can only be
It'd
assessed,
like the building.
right? So it can only be applied to homeowners. It can't be applied to tenants, and it's not a per unit,
It's correct. So it's Kimber Bray,
right?
it's Weatherstone, it's the Pulte development, which is to the north of Weatherstone, and it's
Or it's at Chester Springs.
Eagle Farms.
Okay. So they're the only ones with fire hydrant. Okay.
And
So
they
then
all-
not the
and they all
apartments
have
at
hydrants.
Weatherstone or anything like that,
And
just the,
Kimber Bray is served by Pennsylvania American Water, and everybody else is served by Aqua.
how are the rates? How do the rates compare between the two? Is one,
I can't tell you. I mean, the one rate is very significantly higher than the other, but that's because it has a lot more hydrants.
got it,
There's only 23 units in Kimber Bray.
right,
And there's very few hydrants.
right,
I
okay,
believe the township pays for 66 hydrants to Aqua.
got it.
I think we need an official motion on the table for that.
Okay. All right, a motion to approve the resolution number 2025, establish a fire hydrant tax.
I second a motion.
George, did you have a
Yeah,
comment?
just one more question. So you said we're going to use the funds for supporting the fire company? What funds are there? It sounds like this is a break-even deal.
Well, in the past, for many years, the township has been paying this out of pocket, and it's, you know, it's not like we're just looking to recoup it back. We're looking to give it back to the community for the services that are being provided.
No, I know, but I thought the concept here was these people were getting a benefit by reduced homeowners insurance. The township was basically subsidizing that benefit. Now we're making it even. I don't see how
We
we
don't
end
have
up.
to give it to the fire company. We can take.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't,
It's just kind of giving us more positive income.
well, I don't see this as raising money for another purpose. I mean, if we want to give money to the fire company,
It's not, it's just, instead of bleeding that, we're going to put it in a positive situation for the township.
I mean, the township was using general funds to make payments, and now what this will increase slightly the amount of general funds that are available.
It'll be something that's, you know, a little more, we can count on it. We can count on that money to be there.
okay, it just seems like we were writing something that was wrong, but now if we redirect those funds,
I don't think, you know, and
I mean,
maybe we're saying this the wrong way because we did talk about, you know, not
it seems like they should be
really putting it in
disconnected,
there as though this belongs to, you know, that this is,
because otherwise
it's a
you
donation, like they can't say, oh, that's our money.
get in a situation
This
where,
puts us in a more positive situation.
why not charge $100 for the tax?
You can't,
Let
because
Dave answer.
you can't,
Dave's trying.
What you're doing is, it's, first of all, it's not a tax, it's the assessment. A little bit different, but, so what you're doing is you're having those that benefit from the fire hydrants to pay for that service that the township is paying. So now, through this assessment, the township will recoup the cost of providing that service. Now that the township doesn't have to pay that, or there is an assessment to pay for that, there's additional funds that the township will have that they were using to pay these these water companies with. Okay, so the township will have additional funds in the general fund. What the township does with that is another question to be asked. But the township will have these additional funds available to it in the general fund.
Right.
Okay.
It's not a 1-to-1 ratio of.
Okay, no, calling it an assessment.
We're just saying that.
Calling it an assessment
This-
answers the question.
Right.
I
and
mean,
this
it
just puts
covers the
us in a
fee.
More positive situation to have funds to be able to do that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone else have a question on that topic? I think we need a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. And then we also want to make a motion to advertise the equipment. If you want to.
Sure, I'll do that. I'd like to make a motion to authorize administration to advertise unused or replaced equipment on Municipid. That's a 2001 Ford F-550 with plow 4x4 and a 2015 Chevrolet Silverado 4x4 and airflow salt spreader.
I'll second a motion.
Anyone have some questions on that? Okay, seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, approved. And there's one other thing that at the top of this meeting, other than the pledge that I neglected, I wanted to make an announcement to let everyone know that a new date has been chosen for the Butterscotch meeting. for the conditional use hearing. And so at this point, we're looking at February 24th, and that will be advertised again. Okay. Can I have a motion to dismiss?
Like, make a motion to adjourn?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We
Aye.
are dismissed. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for coming out in the snow.
Thank you.
Tough night.